don't want to wait for my trapper keeper to be over.
You're really liking that. Did you watch that recently or something?
I don't want to wait
Hey, fuck you can.
for my trapper keeper to be over. You want me to roll you in, Rory? How about I roll you in panko breadcrumbs and fucking batter fry?
That was a Freudian slip. I heard that.
Cums?
Yes.
You'd like to be rolled in cum.
I don't think so.
I think you would.
I really don't think so.
I think you'd like to try it just once.
You ever see those, like, there's the porns where there's a bunch of dudes in the room and they're just layer caking that chick.
Bukake.
Yeah. What does that gotta smell like? That can't, like...
Bleach.
The dude who's filming that in that room better be getting paid more than anybody else in the room. He's not getting anything out of it. The people on the ground, they're all perverts. They're all perverts to be doing that.
He might be too, though. He might be getting something out of it. He just goes,
yeah.
This is how you know you're alive,
Just
Dave.
cuts down. He's also naked.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
I don't get it, man. That's too much. That's too much.
I think everybody that works in porn takes a sacred oath. No judgment.
Yeah.
Keep your convulsions to yourself.
That's fine. And try to work in as many open spaces as possible.
Yeah.
I love the ones when the scene is out in the jacuzzi because you can't smell the lady's poo.
I like pasture porn where
Or
we
the
take them
guy's
out
poo.
to a nice cow barn.
Yeah. Because mostly it smells like hay.
They're just fucking on a stack of tobacco. All I smell is cigarettes.
Just a little bit of poo out there.
You know. I don't think a lot of hicks work on porno sets, but that'd be kind of cool.
Yep.
It's just very down home. Come on down, make a porno with us.
Well, dude, you look at half the things, I'm like, this is just some rich guy's, like, home that they just, like, he's adjacent to the business or they know, and they're just like, hey, Tom, can we bring these porn stars in so they can jam it out back by your pool? We promise not to get anything in the pool. He's like, yeah, okay. And they pay the dude some money to use his awesome fucking house, and he gets to go back to all of his, like, accounting buddies and be like, hey, Larry, hey, something look familiar about that pool? Oh, they didn't.
Holy shit.
You know, that's because, let's be honest, you look at some of those places, you go, no porn stars are affording that.
Dan Bilzerian is basically already doing that. I mean, the women are usually wearing bikinis, but never any more than a bikini.
Yeah.
He's that insane. You know who that is, Dan
No.
Bilzerian? He's that insane. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's definitely a millionaire. He's fucking loaded. The guy with the beard and all the guns and just all the women always running around in bikinis.
Nope.
You've never come across this guy.
I mean, maybe once, but not enough for it, like, imprinted on my brain. Like,
Yeah, you'd know if you saw him.
Sure. It's like the kind of thing I stopped looking for douchebags on the internet, recognizing that I'm going to find them.
I wasn't looking for Dan Bilzerian.
I don't know if I
And
believe you.
I don't endorse any of his actions, Rory.
You know, there's so many douchebags doing so many douchebaggy things. I can't wait to watch, is it Jake Paul? He's going to get the shit kicked out of him by Floyd Mayweather.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't give a fuck as much as, like, because Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as good as yours, but we'll move on.
I turned panko cum into gold, baby.
Yeah, sure you did. That's pat. Sure you did, buddy. But I look at that and I go, he's always won. He's 50-0, and Jake Paul's, like, beat up one guy who was, like, not even a real boxer. And I just want to see them get into the ring and Floyd Mayweather to just, why do I keep doing that?
Get it right.
Why do I keep doing that?
Act like you've been here before.
Floyd Mayweather. Red leather, yellow leather. I want to see him punch him in the face. I just do. I hate the Pauls. And you know what? It's one of those things where maybe in like 20 years, it's that Andy Kaufman level. We knew we were being horrible fucking people the whole time. We're actually we're very learned and we read a lot of books. And it was very, very hard for us to take on this persona, knowing that all of these bros fucking loved us because they're all such douchebags and we fucking hate them. And I was reviled by all the people whose opinions I actually respect.
Yeah.
You sit there and go, wow, he actually sacrificed, but he's making money hand over
But
fist.
you
too.
see, I made a butt sex video at Okigahara Suicide Forest as an art piece.
Exactly.
Very postmodern of me.
And everyone kind of still fucking hates him.
Very Jake Paul.
Yeah. So you never know.
He's
but
just a genius.
I don't think so. I don't think that's what's going on.
Hot take, Rory. I'm pro Paul.
Really? Why is that?
Extremely pro Paul because they're the new media.
Pro Paul?
Get
Sounds like
used to
Pol
it.
Pot. I don't know why. That's what comes to mind. Just genocide in Cambodia.
Well,
why? So wait, explain.
they're the new media. Get used to TikTokers and YouTubers being your source of entertainment, Rory.
It's just lazy meme humor. And don't get me wrong, some memes are pretty funny and they're very clever. And it's just become, I don't know, at a certain point, it's a little bit too much. I fucking hate influencers. I can't fucking stand
Embrace them. It's time to embrace them, Rory.
I can't do
They
it.
love you. Why don't you love them?
I'd say the one person that I saw that was actually kind of interesting was this guy. He was called a scam rapper. And basically, they just set up a beat and they just talk to it. It's not on beat. It's not on time. All of that doesn't matter. You make an Instagram. You pay for a ton of fucking followers. And again, you've made this money by scamming people out of cash. Again, what they would do is they would spend a couple $1,000s making a fake Instagram for a woman. They just steal all the photos from somewhere. And then they would wait until thirsty dudes came to contact them wanting to be the sugar daddy, and they would have them send them money for flights to visit. But of course, this is just some dude out in Detroit who's just pocketing that money, and then you delete the Instagram and you walk the fuck away. And you just do that over and over and over. And you make a bunch of money, and then you make an Instagram account for yourself with the same process. You buy a bunch of Instagram followers, and at a certain point, you're accruing so much that they're paying you for it. Or you can send people to your rap or whatever it happens to be. And you end up accruing money because of this. This one guy was a scam artist. He set up like a whole thing where he was selling, it was like the Scam Bible or something, which is all like the different scams that he's run on people. And a lot of them are very illegal. He ended up arresting him at one of his shows and dragging him off. But eventually, like, labels contacted the guy. And they're like, I can't believe you got this far. Because like your music's not on the beat. It's not good. But you've got tons and tons of followers.
Yeah, we could make you the next William Hung.
So that's all we got to do is what I'm saying. Is we just got to come up with a bunch of fake bullshit and spend like $5,000 and buy a shit ton of followers. And then suddenly you're one of those people. That's all it fucking takes now.
Yeah, and we should be happy for those people, and we should watch their stuff and support them, Rory.
Should we?
Absolutely. Have you watched television lately?
You ever seen one of those videos of the people driving down the road being like, hey, look at all these, like someone in California, and you just see all of the people with like the selfie sticks just take like
the pink wall. Yeah.
Just 3 or 4 of them just all doing it. And you see the person walking down the street, they're streaming, and I'm just like, holy fuck.
There's that big pink wall, the big pink influencer wall in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
And it's just a ton of people
It's
there.
like a safari. You can just drive by and like, I didn't know you could get this close to them.
Wow. It's just such a weird phenomenon to me because people are watching these people do nothing. It's interesting when it's somebody like in a different country doing something, cool. They're going to check out some place you've never seen. But it's just, half the time, it's just some fucking douchebag sitting there like, I'm at Panera Bread having soup. And they're just sitting there eating soup and talking to random people. And they've got 20,000 people sitting there watching them eat soup.
Rory, you're subtweeting Chris the hobby guy. I know that's who you're talking about.
There's a ton of fucking different people doing this crap. And it confused, like, Twitch has been taken over by girls in hot tubs. And it's not the whole fucking thing.
Again, what is your problem with this?
It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. This is where we've come. This is what we do as society now.
As a red-blooded, cisgendered straight male.
We're so lonely. We're so fucking lonely.
How fucking dare you? Twitch is free. And you can just hop around.
If it's free, you're the product, motherfucker.
Who gives a shit? There's boobies.
I give shits. Just like it's so ridiculous.
We're never gonna meet in the middle here.
That's
Laura.
where I go to watch video games.
I'm ready to sink into the slop. I'm ready. I'm just ready to be a trash person.
Look at these Twitch streaming half steppers. Go to Pornhub, you lazy shits.
Sometimes it's what you don't see.
Go
it's like
to
the
YouTube.
shark in Spielberg. You can't fucking.
YouTube already sucks.
Now, here's the thing.
Stay on Instagram. Instagram will make you plenty of money. Who was it? Kendall Jenner made like $1 million off a Pepsi tweet she made once in sponsor with it. You can do all kinds of stupid shit.
No, she made the super tone-deaf Pepsi ad where it's like
Yes, she did.
her dancing with the Pepsi, and she goes up to a fucking cop and just hands it
Everything's better now. Everyone starts to dance.
to him. Racial unity. Thanks, Pepsi.
Yeah. I just can't take it anymore.
What don't you like about that?
I don't know.
It's amazing.
In a horrible, terrible sort of way.
What do you think, the world's going to get better, Rory?
No, of course it's not going to get better.
Then
And that's what makes me
embrace
so
the
sad.
chaos,
It's just
motherfucker.
melting into poo, and everyone's just like, well, it's fine, you know. The marketing world's never been better for people.
Truly, you have to do next to nothing now.
I guess.
Just bright colors and dancing and loud yelling.
If you can get like 100,000 people following you on Instagram, you're golden.
Just give it a shot.
You're fucking gold. Again, I'll just pay for it. Just pay for it. And there it is. That's all you have to do.
Well, you know what, Rory? We're talented enough that would be dishonest, which honestly means we should be allowed to do it.
Which is why we'll never get anywhere without it.
Exactly, because we have integrity, and
Do
that's
we?
more important than being able to rent your own
That's why you're
apartment.
not successful. It's because we have integrity. I'm never going to go out and do the things that like Jake Paul does. I could have gone out and Twitch streamed the fucking the riots in Manhattan, down in the financial district, or
You should have. You could have been the next Tim Pool.
hey, check me out. I'm inside this Best Buy. Look at a lot of people. Oh, someone stole my camera.
Well, easy come, easy go. Please like and subscribe.
Just running after him. Please look at this.
Oh, God, that's my whole life, please.
This is going to be easy to get back.
Yeah.
Just ask someone, excuse me, sir, can I see your phone for a second? I need to check out a Twitch stream to see where my stream went.
Oh, Rory.
Imagine staging that, though. You'd get so much, you'd probably get a lot of attention. Like, oh my God, check out this guy who got his stream stolen by somebody.
I saw a video on Instagram the other day. It was this guy, Trevor Wallace, and he makes a lot of like those very quick videos that's like, when influencers get diarrhea at an inopportune moment. And it's just a skit that spins out of that.
Sure.
They're funny. And then he was doing one about being an investor who was promoting Bitcoin or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And he legitimately this guy has his own billboard in Los Angeles. So he wears the same outfit and stands in front of the billboard and is doing a video where he's ranting about Dogecoin. And some girl walking by takes a video on Snapchat. She's like, oh my God, this guy's having a public meltdown in front of his, clearly no idea who he is. He's melting down in front of his billboard. What an idiot. And he sees her and he immediately recognizes the value, runs at her and he goes, ma'am, have you heard about Dogecoin? Which is what I imagine you doing to most people.
I got to say, I'm pretty happy with the fact that I wasn't the one who brought up cryptocurrency first on this podcast. Look at that.
We're not going to belabor the point.
It's like
crypto's stupid.
It's like a little tick that I've put into your brain. You can't think of anything else now. It's got to come up.
Oops.
Knocking shit over.
Captured
See?
on the audio.
You're falling apart.
We'll give him a little more.
Is that ASMR? Is that what that technically is? Should we be breathing heavier and whispering more?
It's the metal version of ASMR.
No one will listen because I'm not pretty.
Yeah, let me tell you, Rory, they are really, the ASMR community, really stepping up their efforts to get in on that kind of Twitch space thing where it's like,
you gotta get ahead of the pack.
Here I am sitting on a block of ice in my bikini.
It's so cold. Like this is where it's become the evolution of sex phone lines, is what it is.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you don't have to waste a bunch of dimes trying to call some lady.
Look what we've done with technology. Yeah. Look what it made of humans.
You used to have to call some slob in Davenport, Iowa, and ask her to pretend not to be 300 pounds with a peg leg.
You had to drive to a payphone somewhere where no one could see you in your shame and load quarters into that thing for an hour and a half.
And it better not be near a fucking school, I'll tell you that much.
I remember
You're not allowed.
When we were kids, we found out that you could call like 1-800-SEX on like the payphone that was out front of the school. So you'd like, before you'd go into like a dance, you'd go, is that true? And you'd go over, boop, 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 boop. Thank you for calling. Oh, and you'd hang up like, oh my God.
We're
going to get in so much trouble.
Such an amazing idea for a skit out of that. It's just a bunch of 13-year-olds like, we're going to call 1-800-SEX. Oh, okay, this is going to be so funny. And they're all giggly. And the one kid just puts his quarter in. Beep, boop, 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 boop.
You didn't even have to put
1-800-SEX, and the kid just immediately comes in his pants.
Oh, jeez.
You guys, I think that was sex.
I I would say to you over that, good luck finding a payphone outside that you're comfortable putting your ear to now.
Or 13-year-olds who would act in that skit.
Yeah, well, that's going to be you. You're going to do the casting for that.
I just give them a couple vape cartridges.
It's just you hanging out in front of the school. Hey, kid, you want to make $20?
You want to be in a video?
Yeah. Like, I've seen the way this goes online. And yes, I do.
Because you want to be famous, don't you, kid?
I'm going to be the next Justin Bieber's.
I'm going to murder you on TikTok.
Do kids still talk about Justin Bieber? Is that a thing still?
Sadly, yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The last song of his I heard was, it might as well have been called Poor Me, because that was the whole idea.
Oh, doesn't that suck to have $1 billion or however much he's got?
No one knows what it's like to be married to Alec Baldwin's hot daughter and have a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And pink hair.
Those songs always bug the shit out of me.
It's a valid perspective if you've actually suffered, but Justin Bieber's just a little asshole, so I don't give a fuck.
There's a little shit who like had more money than a marketing team found a video of him singing and playing the piano at like age 14 or 16 or something, and they were like, this kid is marketable. He went viral in this amount of time. We can turn this kid into a star. He's got a voice. He's got musical ability. That's all that fucking matters. We can fucking have people write songs for him. There's talent. Get the dream in here. And they just fucking went at it and threw a fucking, a couple $1 million behind him for image and marketing. And a couple years later, he's filling fucking theaters, like amphitheaters. Just huge fucking venues. And
as a child.
As a kid.
He was younger than 14. And I bet when he was sitting on that piano bench, his mom was like, if you get off that piano bench,
he was like a 12-year-old.
I am going to beat you with a shoe.
He was like in 6th grade or 7th grade or something like that, probably.
I mean, I remember hearing Baby for the first time in college. I'm driving home.
Who is this little shit?
I thought it was a lady. I was like, she sounds kind of cute.
Great.
And you go home and you're like, oh, it's 13-year-old boy.
There's a term for that. It's called Hansen syndrome.
Yeah.
Or the Hansen effect.
Man,
syndrome.
I fall for it every time, man.
Yep.
She sounds kind of hot, and it's like, oh, another 13-year-old boy, huh?
Yep. Great.
Yeah.
It's the pratfall of life.
I guess so. I wish I just shit my pants instead. Be less embarrassing.
It's just a weird phenomena. That's what the world is right now. Vertical farms and Justin Bieber. Look out.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Well, as we record this, Rory, it's Mother's Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do anything special for your mom?
Other than like the marketability crap, I'm just going to, go up and wish her happy Mother's Day, tell her I love her, and see if she wants to do anything.
Did you get her anything?
No, I don't. We don't. Again, Mother's Day for us is like not. It's not that kind of thing. Like again, it's the way I would like to be like, what am I going to get on Children's Day? Or like I don't know.
Rory, I'm reminded of the film Talladega Nights and what the gentleman said in that movie. Oh, your mom's got plenty of Hummel figurines. Why don't you just get her a male prostitute?
Yeah, just swing that in.
Look, she has enough Scentsy candles. How many guys does she have coming over to hook
Yankee
up?
Candle. Those are nice. This is like a nice evergreen. I always buy the ones that like never end up like, oh, thank you. It gets put on a shelf for 30 years and doesn't get opened because no one wants to smell it.
It's just balsam fir.
Yeah.
Like that's such a generic shitty one.
Oh,
Stop doing that.
Wet dog. Thank you.
Boy, Rory.
I thought it smelled nice. Thanks.
This one's called Floor of the Men's Room at a movie theater.
Yeah. I always get the wrong. This one's sawdust. It's all the wonderful smells of being in a wood shop.
Here's cottage cheese in a hot car.
Yeah, great.
She's like, actually, I like that one.
It's like, this one's fish. And just okay, great.
Because
smells like camp.
Yeah. Maybe get a nice bergamot scented candle. I have a bergamot lemon candle.
No.
Yep.
No, thank you.
I do.
I'm sure you do.
It's basically an orange. I found.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like a Tangelo.
It's like a rindy kind of
Tangelo?
smell. Rindy.
Yeah.
It's like a rindy
Correct.
kind of smell.
It smells like compost, if you must know.
Oh, how pleasant.
Yes. It tastes like it as well.
Yes. Just had to scoop a little bit out.
Yeah, no big deal.
I was like that weird kid like putting his finger in the wax. It was hard and peel it off afterwards.
That's fine. I used to try to seal letters, and I'm like, they use a different kind of wax.
Yeah, they use a different method.
I'm a stupid bitch.
Yeah. I would not have known that, though. I wouldn't have. Except until you like seal it and it just flakes right off. Like, fuck!
Like, shit, this has made a mess. It stained the paper.
I'll never be a lord.
Yeah.
Or a statesman from 1783.
I keep thinking about Mother's Day, man. Like,
what about it?
I don't know. It's just such a weird, like, I understand your trepidation about it, which is like, it's become heavily marketed.
Everything is, dude. Look at Valentine's Day, for fuck's sake.
Everything is
Really?
everything is like, Mother's Day is coming up, and treat your mother like a queen. The implication being you treat her like shit 364 days of the rest of the year.
Yes, exactly.
But today's the day other than her birthday and Christmas. Let's be honest, you make her cry half the Christmases. So why don't you treat her nicely this one time?
Yeah.
And that's a big problem for me because my mom's family treats her like the fucking guy that runs the Ferris wheel at the county fair. They all rely on her desperately.
Oh, I was going to say they're just waiting to get shivved by her, just like randomly, potentially.
No,
Don't ask her questions. She might stab you.
No, her whole fucking life is just like catering to everybody in her family.
Yeah.
It's totally fucking wild.
Yeah.
And I just wish like my mom could experience an alternate timeline where she was just a mess. You know what I mean? She's living like at lake. She's like, I think it's a good idea to live at Lake Havasu all year round, spring break forever. She's got a fucking monkey heart and a pacemaker that's hooked up to an industrial margarita machine. She walks into the walk-in clinic and the people greet her like Norm and cheers.
Yep.
Just a big time like skank goblin living her best life. No
just
stupid kids,
blissfully
no husband.
ignorant of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having the time of, I genuinely want that for my mom. No responsibilities, doing whatever the fuck you want. The consequences be damned.
Well, see, I kind of want that for everybody in a way. Not like to that extreme, but just that like sense of it. Just like one of my biggest problems is obviously overthinking things. I don't know if you guys at home could tell, but you know, that's one of the things that I struggle with super hard is like trying to overanalyze everything. I wish I could just sit there and be and just not have to worry about it. Like later, I'm going to go to the liquor store. I'm going to buy myself a 6-pack of beer. And oh boy, I probably have to do it again tomorrow because I'm drinking them tonight. And just having fun and not worrying about it. And like, I've got my job down at the Safeway. And then when I'm done, I go home and everything works out. I got my weekends off. I got my girl. She doesn't think about too much neither. I just popped a kid into her. And we're just going to put a down payment on this house because we live out in the butt-fuck nowhere and everything's kind of cheap still for whatever reason.
But you know what?
And you live that nice, quiet little life. Tire swing out front. Oh, boy. Everybody in town knows you. Hang out down at the local mill and fucking have a drink with the boys. Crack some golf balls off into the forest.
And you're trying to paint like a very grim picture here, but the truth is these people are better than us.
They said they're happy.
We sit here and act like we're cursed with insight and knowledge. But
no, we're not.
The fact of the matter is we're just stupid douchebags.
No, I'm not saying that I'm cursed with knowledge. I'm just saying I'm highly overanalytical. It can still be stupid nonsense. It's just the stupid nonsense never stops. It doesn't turn off. Those other people who can just like sit there and just be. Like we've talked about it. There's people we know who can just like hang out in a room with the TV off and like be comfortable and not have their brain just be like, hey, remember that thing that happened 7 years ago that gave you a lot of anxiety? Let's relive the feelings you went through when that happened.
Yeah.
And you're sitting like, oh, fuck. And it's just like, you're like, oh, well, like you get over it eventually. And then your brain goes, you're going to die one day. And you're like, no, come on, brain. Like what? Your family's going to die one day. No, I don't want to think about that right now.
What's the last thing you said to your mom?
Exactly.
That's a frequent like, oh man, I'm fucking bugging. I'm too drunk and I'm just thinking about all the people I've hurt. Like, I don't drink anymore.
You know you have anxiety when you have to stop answering those random phone calls because you don't know if it's going to be something serious or whatever, so you screen the call because important people leave messages. If it's important, they're going to leave a message.
Yes.
If not, you know potentially it's one of those people trying to sell you insurance on your car that you don't have, and you can just kind of move on with your day.
Mm.
That's how you know, like, oh my God, is this something I need to pick up? Is this going to be like a random person on the side of the road who found the number in my parents' damaged phone call, but they didn't have service because they're on the Sprint network? And so they're calling me because they smashed into them at 85 miles an hour. And my God, they're fucking flying them off in a chopper to Dartmouth and I need to get there. Or is it someone trying to sell me on a scam that the IRS is upset with me for some reason?
The IRS is probably upset with you.
No, they're not.
Let's be honest.
They probably looked at me and go, this guy doesn't know how to do his taxes and we owe him money. Next on the pile.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing is they sit there. You know, the IRS has like done audits of people like prior and sat there and been like, we owe this guy money. Well,
I'm going to make sure you get audited. I need you to experience that.
If they audit me, I know that they owe me more money. I know they do.
You think that, Rory?
No, I know
you
that.
Think that
because I've taken losses in the stock market that I have never claimed, so I know they technically owe me several $100s.
The IRS is like the mafia, Rory. They're not going to do anything they don't want to do.
Well,
they don't want to give you money.
Exactly. That's why I'll never be audited because they don't want to.
But if I tell them some weird shit's going
Mr.
down
Fitzgerald,
in your house,
and then they would come after you afterwards. So do it, motherfucker. Do it.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm clean as a whistle.
So am I. That's what we're talking about.
I don't think you are. I think you're hiding something.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, what?
What am I hiding?
I think you're hiding something. I don't know what. I think you might have money
Very
tied up.
conservative of you.
Exactly, dude. No, I'm a hard conservative now.
Yep.
It just makes way more sense, dude. Just makes way more sense.
Yeah.
You just subjugate everybody in your path.
But then
I
you
get
also
behind that.
project onto them and say that they're doing the things that you're doing.
Yeah, you're trying to oppress me while I've got a boot on your neck.
No, you're doing the one. You're doing it, you piece of shit.
Conservatism is tailor-made to my personality.
Yeah, that'll be
I'm
great.
going to crush it.
You're going to make a lot of friends. Well, you're going to make a lot of new friends and lose a lot of old friends.
Yeah, they're going to be better friends.
Yeah. Someone's going to one day look at you and be like, hey, man, you ever heard about flat earth theory? You're going to be like,
Go
tell
on.
me more.
Yeah.
We're all going to hang out in the pool out back at Lauren Bobert's house. Why don't you come on over?
Oh, please. Yes, please.
Yep. But
Man,
then you
oh,
get there
man.
and they don't recognize you at first, and they shoot you because it's their right. Stand your ground, they say. They just clip you from
And I'm
three
just
different
there, and I'm like
angles.
bleeding out. You guys.
Are those mini hot dogs? Oh, God.
Just stuff one in the wound.
That's so great.
Plug me up.
Yep.
I thought about that the other day. I really hope for my birthday this year, Jodi Arias pops out of a cake and stabs me in the neck.
Oh, I don't think she's getting out for that.
If you guys all work hard enough, she might.
I don't think so,
Can we
bud.
get her on a day release?
I'm still waiting for her to write you back.
I would love that. And I'm telling you, somebody needs to step up and just catfish me, and they won't do it.
No, because that requires a lot of effort, and it's also the kind of thing where potentially, because it involves a murderer, they might be like, someone's trying to forge a letter through the U.S. mail. That's called mail fraud.
No, all you have to do is show up to my house. Like, I'm sure it'd be easy
and
for
just slip it into
someone
the mail,
to figure out.
into
Yeah,
the mail. Yeah,
put it in the mailbox.
mail fraud. Still mail fraud.
Well, but you're not asking a fucking mailman to participate in it, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah, but if you're
in a
putting
court of
it,
law,
does it?
correct.
Are you sure?
My grandpa was a mailman. I think I know.
Oh, yeah. Was he really?
I think I know
I
mail
don't-
law. He
Hold on,
was.
Let me tell you, I don't believe you. I don't.
This one's true.
Yeah. I mean, I believe you that your grandpa was a mailman. I just don't believe you're like, I am up on mail law.
Absolutely, dude.
Listen.
It's genetic.
I know my mail rights, mister.
You think you do?
Not this time.
We made it up. Total fabrication.
Yeah, got to be careful with that.
I watched a super cut of that the other day. Just like 9.5 minutes
Yeah.
of him being like, nope.
There
not
is
this
a
time.
2-hour cut of Jonathan Frakes telling you you're wrong.
So good.
It's really good. Sometimes it's a fun thing to respond. If you're ever looking for, like, someone's ever trying to troll you online, you just send that to them.
Nope.
And then they
Not this
say
time.
something cunty back, and then you say it to them again. You just keep hitting them with the Frakes.
If I'm ever on death row and they ask what I want my last meal to be, I'm going to go, just play the Jonathan Frakes movie.
Not
The
this
2-hour cut of him telling me no.
Yep.
They're like, if you really want to.
That's what he wanted. I want Kentucky Fried Chicken and a half-hour cut of My Little Pony.
Done. Instead, I just sit there watching the video and pissing in my own mouth like an orangutan.
Yep.
You're like, Jesus, this guy definitely needed to die.
I just would probably you got a lot of time on death row leading up to it, right? So
If you appeal,
I
wouldn't appeal.
I would appeal just to give me more time to research which foods I can eat before my death that are going to cause the worst cleanup for
I
that.
think you know what those are already.
Spicy foods. But I'm going to find like the hard, like I want ghost peppers and like all kinds of things and just shovel them.
Might as well.
So I'm sitting there just like, just throwing up. Technically, I don't think they can execute you if you're unwell.
Moreover, do you think if you asked for your final meal for 5 pounds of hot peppers, they would have to give you that?
I don't know.
And you eat as many as you can?
Maybe they do it within reason. I want chicken cordon bleu. But the chicken is a whole chicken, and it's been stuffed with a tinier chicken that I need you to find.
And I want only the finest cordon.
Like if you ask for ortolan, I don't think they're going to do it.
I guess if you ask for human flesh, and they're like, that's what you got you in here, Gary.
Yeah. Damn it,
you guys
Steve.
got me.
Give me your thigh. Yeah, I don't know. I assume they would have to They would have to comply within reason. I'm sure there's like
what if you wanted to
limit.
eat poop? I mean, that's not.
They're not going to let you eat poop.
But
for
that's
your
not
final
hurting
meal.
anybody.
It's the sort of thing that maybe they're like, no, we're not going to take the risk because you're just going to, every time we ask you for your last meal, Steve, you're going to ask for poop, and then it's going to make you unwell, and then we have to stop and wait for you to get better, and then the physician comes in and goes, he's better. What do you want for your last meal, Steve? And you say poop again. We're not going through this circle. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 10 times, shame on me.
What if the poop is locally sourced?
No.
Does that change your mind?
It doesn't.
Organic, free range,
Of course it doesn't.
Cage-free poop.
What does that have to do with anything?
It's more
It has nothing to do with it.
nutritious.
Of course it's not.
It's from a human that was fed hens that were fed grain.
Poo is not like pee. If you never hear that story, it'll be like, when you're out in the desert, you can drink your pee up to 3 times and hork down on your poop once or twice as well while you're at it. They don't say that. They don't tell you that. You know why?
But you're
because
about
that's
to
not
die
true.
anyway.
It's your waste.
If you want to eat a fucking turd, I don't think they can tell you not to.
I'm pretty sure they can.
How did we get here, Rory?
I
Why am I
don't-
arguing for people to eat turds?
Because
on
it's
death row?
ludicrous.
But I have to be right, Rory.
No, but you're wrong.
But I'm not wrong.
You are, though.
I don't think we
Show
know.
me the precedent.
You show me the
Someone
precedent.
has made a coffee table book of all of the fucking people who have been executed in the food that they ate.
I think we need to ask someone
Never
with a
seen-
background in jurisprudence.
I've never seen poop. And again, maybe that's the sort of thing that they sit there and go, okay, the court has deemed you mentally unfit to make decisions, and so the state will be stepping in and giving you this
a
instead.
hungry man dinner.
Yeah, and they're just going to step in and give him something else. You're getting lobster, Terry.
I think that
I want
constitutes. I think that constitutes cruel and unusual punishment.
I
You
think
can't-
letting him eat poop is constitutes
It's
cruel
what
and
he
unusual punishment.
wants.
It doesn't matter. That's proof to the state that you're mentally unfit.
Who gives a shit? It's Texas. They're going to execute you anyway.
Again, that's where we're stepping into the law.
Do you know how many
They have to care.
mentally
Again, if they didn't give a shit, why wouldn't they execute people who were sick? It doesn't matter. We're going to kill them anyways, but the law says you have to wait for them to be well.
I think in Texas they can just sneak up on you and dart you in the neck
No,
on
no.
the street.
I-
That's
yeah.
how the death penalty works there.
I mean, they give children guns.
Yeah,
So-
they execute mentally retarded people.
It's 6 hours, I think, is what it is. You can buy a gun and get trained for concealed carry in 6 hours in the state of Texas.
You could expedite a prison-sanctioned murder if you wanted. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it depends
And
on how
let the
many
man
people.
eat shit.
It's like,
Let
what was
them
it?
eat shit.
It's like Ron White, didn't he used to say, it's like, you commit a bunch of murders, you go to the front of the line. Like that
We'll
kind of
kill you back. You kill someone, we'll kill you back, Jack.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have no doubt that they kill people, but I again,
I'm into that policy.
no one's eating poop.
I don't think we can say that for
I
sure.
think I'm gonna go ahead. We can disagree. I'm gonna say that.
I'm going to say they can because it's
Okay.
a victimless crime, unlike
Somebody
the rapes
out
and
there,
murders that got
please,
them in there.
For the love of God, please, somebody out there tell us. Somebody. Well, turns out in 1973, there's the president where this guy got killed in Skokie, Alabama, and right before they let him eat a little nugget of his poo because we asked him.
I mean, it might have been, I want to eat rabbit feces, and you have to work up. It's like a civil rights thing. Like, now you can eat your own shit or other humans' shit.
I think we're working away from killing people, though, aren't we?
That's a mistake.
I mean, it depends on the state.
That's a mistake.
The last person, I mean, they were executing people with guillotine up until like what, the 70s or the 60s?
Can you ask for that?
No, but I believe that I remember reading a story recently where one state just reinstated the firing squad method.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they did that because they're like, we're having a really hard time getting pharmaceutical companies to send us the chemicals for lethal injection because they don't want to be involved with the process.
Because it's ghoulish as fuck.
Well, it's also has like, again, I'm sure at some level there's like the whole Hippocratic Oath thing for some doctors. So they're sitting there being like, we can't be involved. I mean, you could go right to a chemical company maybe, but those people, again, don't want to be involved with it. There's a lot of death threats involved if they find out where the chemicals are coming from. So a lot of those companies are just like, we're not fucking doing this. So the state was like, okay, we're going to shoot people again. That's a fucking gruesome process, though.
But you know what? I would love to do that and like do the whole like French resistance thing where I've got a blindfold on and a cigarette in my mouth and I'm acting all brave and then I just shit my pants.
That's a fucked up thing, dude.
I want to fucking die, and they just light me up.
I read about how they do that one time. And it's like there's you and like there's 7 of them all, and they're all marksmen. And everybody's gun except for one of them gets loaded with blanks. So there's one guy, and nobody knows which one of them it is. And they all aim for the same spot. And they take the shot. And one of them kills the person, but nobody knows who.
I like that.
And I was like, yeah, but maybe
Put equity back in state-sanctioned murder. That's what I always say.
just maybe the process should suggest to us that there's something wrong with it. No. Don't worry. We assuade their guilt by making sure that nobody knows which one of them did it, so they all get to wonder.
They can go home to their kids and wife and sleep well.
Might be you one day, Junior. Just
Not this time.
yeah.
Why don't you just jack these guys up on morphine and just hit them in the head with a captive bolt pistol, like
Again,
you do to a pig?
You wonder. I wonder.
They just go
how
nanites
many
and you kill
things
them.
have been suggested in terms of like execution? Because we did electrocution for a long time. I mean, we might still do it. That's fucked. Like that whole process is fucked. There's so many, and I don't know why I know this, but there's a lot of cases where it just didn't work.
Oh yeah.
And they like would turn it off, and the dude was still alive, so they had to roll that shit back on, and do it a couple of times.
I want to say they had to fry Richard Ramirez a couple times, the
Yeah.
Night Stalker.
Like you made your way through it. Your adrenaline in your system, and you're almost dead, but you're not quite dead. They gotta turn it back on again. Oh, but now he's unconscious, but he's still pumping.
Can you imagine? There's
crack
a
it on
sign
again.
over the electric chair that says "Po Buddy's Nerfect."
Jesus,
That's the last thing you
it's
see.
a little wood etched.
There's a little priestess standing there.
This is pretty great. Actually, my Nana makes those. Yeah, so we got one for here. It's pretty good. I had that commissioned myself.
You can check out her. Well, no, you can't check out her Etsy.
Oh, that's depressing. I'm trying to think if there's any other crazy ways. Again, guillotine, I think, is probably the craziest shit.
It's probably the cleanest.
The fact that that made it into the 20th century, though, is wild.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about, like, weird countries. It's not like somewhere deep in some undeveloped nation they were still cutting people's heads off with guillotine. This was France. Like, they were still cutting people's heads off.
We should bring back like hipster executions, where it's like the hipster way to die is the guillotine.
It's just a fucking, just some dude from Washington State, Seattle, just very sarcastically reading through the 7 Harry Potter books, and you're just dead by the end of it. Just, because you can't take it. You just can't fucking take it. This is, I'll keep reading. And just every, no, make it stop.
But can you imagine like some hipster asshole, like he's a bike courier and he accidentally runs into a pregnant woman and she has a stillbirth and that's technically murder in the state. And he gets to death row. His appeals run out.
If we finish through this, we're going to read the Wheel of Time.
And when they get ready to execute him, they're like, okay, well, a hipster death, we'll put him in a fucking brazen bull.
Oh my God.
Brag
no.
about how fucking cool he is for doing it the old way.
That's fucked up. That and scaphism, if we're going way back.
I love the fact that the inventor of the brazen bull got finished making it, and they're like, we're going to test it on you.
Yeah. Because they're going to, I mean, yeah. Why not?
Damn, it worked.
Yep.
You literally just turn into goo.
Of course. They put you inside a big metal bowl and they light a fire and you just liquefy on the inside.
Pretty metal. They should send the contents in a jar to your family.
I just imagine being there. It's like the same thing like if you were in like medieval Britain and they drew and quarter someone in the square, cut you open and show you your guts as long as you're alive. And then guess what? When you're dead, they keep going. It just all gets quartered out and displayed on those little spikes or whatever.
That is also pretty metal.
Attached to you still. Just, this is what happens when you say Jesus isn't real.
Dude, my lab partner in
Or whatever it
anatomy and
happens to be.
physiology in high school, I won't give her last name. We'll just call her Brittany.
Yeah.
I'll mouth it to you.
Sure.
And she fucking basically drew and quartered our fetal pig for our final exam.
La la.
Dude, she stabbed it in the eyes with her scalpel. She cut its fucking nose off with her scalpel. She tried to go for the brain.
I hope this doesn't
and
awaken
whacked
anything.
the head on the table like a damn it doll a couple times.
Yeah. See, I didn't take that class because I was not doing that.
Hot take, I've never been more attracted to a woman in my life.
Great. I knew it was coming at some point, and that was when I knew what I needed to do to maintain my erections. Questions.
Just watching her pull the guts out of a fetal pig and
Yep.
stretch the intestines across the room.
Lady in red.
She's
great.
just eating pieces of it.
One bite.
Shh.
Awful.
I'll keep your secret, baby.
I had such a bad time with bio and chem classes in high school because my sister was in the grade above me, and she ended up going into biochem and then later into dentistry. So she was good at like she worked hard, but the teachers loved her. And then I would show up, and they'd be like, you're so and so's younger brother. Well, we expect things from you. I'm like, don't. Like halfway, and they would just hate me. All of them. He taught physics. Because I had the two teachers that were both big fans of my sister, and they just fucking hated me. The people who liked me the most in that school were people who either never had my sister or who had my sister and never had me. like, Rory, how are you doing? I'm doing great, Miss LaFrancis. How are you doing? Oh, it's fantastic. And I just never took her class, so she never ended up hating me.
I never had a class with Franny either.
Yeah.
She was technically like the adult supervisor of the yearbook that I worked on with a friend of the pod, Tanner.
Oh, fun.
And a different Brittany than the pig disemboweling story.
A lot of Britneys.
A lot of Britneys.
A lot of Britneys floating
lot
around.
of Britneys.
Yeah. It's the name of the episode. A lot of Britneys.
A lot of Britneys. No, you know what I'm naming this episode
Yeah.
after Tanner's amazing reference last night?
Yeah, I know you are.
Rory Wonka and his donkey factory.
That's so... Sure.
So satisfying.
Doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
It means nothing.
It's amazing, but imagine if you were listening to a podcast for the first time and that was the title.
Come with me. Oh, they're all dead.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, no, what happened? Oh, no.
That's a donkey wasting disease. You mean they couldn't eat all the chocolate that was at this chocolate factory before we moved in?
Oh, my God. What are all these little people doing here? Yeah. So this factory was made like 70, 80 years ago. People were a lot shorter back then.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes.
We just kept inbreeding them and taking their children from them. So
Wow, that's a lot heavier. This is my factory. We don't do that shit.
the
Jesus.
Oompa Loompas work at
I
Amazon
was
now.
saving them. They said he said as Willy Wonka got dragged from his factory.
I gave them jobs. I
gave
gave them
them
homes. I gave them meaning.
Yeah. There's a
I'm their god.
Yeah.
I'm their god.
Willy Wonka was taken into custody today. He tried to escape in his glass elevator, which was promptly shot out of the sky. That's depressing.
His glass elevator, and he just runs through the plate glass window in his office on the 35th story.
Weird movie, that. Weird movie. I've always wondered what snozberries taste like.
I heard snozberries.
Yeah. Well, apparently. But what is that, tangy? Is it like a strawberry? Is it citrusy?
I think it tastes like a gusher.
Oh, interesting.
Just very syrupy when you bite into it.
This is almost too much, but it's almost kind of perfect.
I think it snaps like salmon roe, like fish eggs. Get that nice snap when you bite into them, or like a sausage casing.
I was thinking it would probably be closer to like a pomegranate or something, but
it could have little like roe inside of it, like a pomegranate.
Little kernels.
Little purple ones.
Little kernels. Oh, it's so adorable. Look, they're wearing booties.
These are extremely toxic.
Yep.
It's like that thing that the MyPillow guy is promoting, that supposed COVID cure.
Oh, is he?
I'm glad I don't know what it's called because I don't want to be accused of furthering that.
There's so many people just peddling such bullshit.
It's not echinacea, but it has a name like that.
Hydrochloroquine?
Yeah. No, it's some plant that the USDA was like, this is actually toxic in certain quantities.
Yeah, but you should not. Grapefruit? Was it grapefruit?
Yeah, go ahead and eat soap.
Yeah, don't eat grapefruit, people.
Yeah. Not if you're on Lipitor.
Yep.
And we know half of you are.
Watch out, because that cholesterol medicine will kill you if you're having grapefruit all the time.
Sorry, I guess you don't get to eat a delicious melon that tastes like acid.
Yeah. Highly tart juice.
Jesus Christ. I love grapefruit juice. I love a salty dog, grapefruit juice and vodka.
Oh.
That's my jam. That is the most refreshing drink. But grapefruit juice on its own? Vodka on its own?
Didn't wake up the next day. Somebody, just like, oh, this is great. That's how a senator gets killed. They just slipped a cholesterol pill in with his grapefruit juice. And it kills him overnight. He wasn't on cholesterol medication. He was now.
Was he? That's how you kill Dick Cheney. You just feed him a grapefruit.
Yep.
We're not advocating anybody kill Dick Cheney. But if you do work at a airport Hilton and you have access to grapefruit, theoretically you could. Yeah. We're not saying you should.
I'm just ready for like this run of old awful politicians to die.
They're getting ready to.
I'm waiting for it. I'm seriously considering, depending on where they put Mitch McConnell's grave, to just go take a nice fucking pilgrimage there just to pee on it. Got to do it at the right time. Don't want a lot of people around. Kind of a shy peer.
It's going to be like Gigi Allen's grave.
Sure. I figure his grave will get eroded down quicker just because people hate him more.
People are going to deface his fucking headstone. The thing is,
sure. That's why they'll put it somewhere.
You won't find out. He'll be in a mausoleum or some shit.
Whatever. Yeah, the fucking McConnell family
The
mausoleum.
very important people mausoleum.
It's just a giant turtle. I wonder which one's his.
It's just him and like a little Sebastian, like a pony that was famous in the 30s. Those are
Yeah.
the two people buried in the mausoleum.
Just the two of them. It's like that was his childhood horse in the 1930s.
Consider myself
When I started.
honored.
I'm telling you, he's just secretly, he's gonna get to that day where he just like stands up in the Senate and just like a fucking wraith from fucking Lord of the Rings, like the Nazgul.
Yeah.
Except he just like charges one of the younger senators and just sucks the life out of them. You just watch the soul leave fucking AOC's body as he just sucks. I shall have your youth.
No.
Walks
Oh,
over
why
like
did it have
the
to be
fucking-
her?
Just someone young. It's the first one I could think of.
I mean, that is tough.
He's not gonna do it to Matt Gaetz.
Why can't it be Madison Coth? Well, then he wouldn't be able to walk, I guess.
Yeah.
But hey, fair shot. That guy's an asshole, and he can't walk. It's the truth.
Well, there you go.
I didn't say he's a bad person because he can't walk. I'm saying he is a bad person who can't
And
walk.
he can't walk. Yeah.
Correct.
Hey, that's good. I'm with you. Good. Same page.
That just reminds me of an amazingly delightful exchange I had with a fan of the show on Instagram the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's going to piss you off really bad.
Of course it is.
When you realize who's involved and what it involves.
Everything always pisses me off.
It's legitimately funny, though.
I don't believe you.
Friend of the show, Emily, reached out, and she was
Yeah.
like, hey, I want to take your temperature on something. Do you think Rory should become a model train guy?
Yeah, she tried to convince me of that too. She talked to me. I was like, no, I don't want to be a model train guy. It's weird. What a weird fucking thing. I already collect coins. I like Pokemon cards. Leave me alone. I already got enough weird shit.
Well, I took it in a different direction. I was like, you'll never get him to be a model train guy because it does not have the panache that I think Rory needs.
Great.
However, I could see him get really into making model Star Trek stuff. Like the Enterprise and a Romulan warbird.
Out of balsa wood. Just little intricate things.
Getting really into it.
But then stepping on them afterwards. Die! Die!
The topper is you're wearing a Starfleet uniform the entire time. You just hit a little comm badge and your mom comes down with chicken nuggets she synthesized in the microwave.
Not okay.
Thank you, number one.
No. This sounds very depressing for me. This is
It's
a very sad, depressing
Really
future.
funny. And you get really mad if anyone says you're playing with the models. And that
So
was
I'm just a 1980s stereotype from like a boner comedy.
You're not a grown man playing with toys. You are a grown man building toys that you can't play with.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Yeah, that makes me feel so much better. Both of those distinctions were so great. Listen, I prefer the outcomes where I'm like destitute on the street with a rat for a pillow. They make me feel better. I'm like, well, at least I'm living free.
Rory, this is only in the instance that you get like a TBI or something, which, let's be honest, I'm probably going to give you.
I mean, who says I don't already have one?
I mean, yeah.
Here
I'm
we
going to
go.
be teaching you, like, because you want to start.
I'm easily confused. My attention runs away, and I am very quick to anger.
Maybe you're just stupid.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
ever consider that?
And overthinking. I'm an over-analytical idiot.
Well, we're going to start working out, and like you say you want to start doing a little training.
Sure.
So imagine when I'm teaching you kettlebells, like what if I lose one? You know what I mean? And I just clock you in the face with a 20-pound kettlebell.
Whatever. Just make sure I don't walk away from that shit. I'm just ready. I'd rather die.
But that's what I'm saying.
I
is like,
don't want to limp away from an accident. I'll just be like, oh God, and I'll finish the job by doing a head first dive out the window.
But you'll finally have your fondest wish, Rory. You'll be one of those people that doesn't have to sit and think because you can't.
You don't know that. You don't know the nature of that. Maybe everything just becomes way more confusing and frustrating. Like that's.
I'll
Maybe
do
that's
my
just,
best to hit the right part of your head.
I mean, you better. Again, if you can sit there and take away the evil, the dark thoughts, like, then that's one thing. But I feel like you can't. I'll just be like, now I think all the time, and I can't come up with any solutions. It just gets way, way worse.
I also don't know colors.
Yeah.
I would love to do one where it's me and I just go, hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is the best friend lobotomy, and I just come up with a railroad spike and just tap it into your head.
Yeah.
How'd that one work, Rory?
I taste colors. It's like a late Wednesday.
You're just pissing.
Yep. I mean, maybe. Again, just if you ever get in a car accident, I don't want to limp away. Let's just go for it.
No, I don't either. Because I would be a tremendous burden on my family. I'm massive. Like, I'm 6'3". I'm broader than a fucking barn door. If I suddenly became unable to take care of myself, like
that bad.
nobody should have to wipe my ass, dude. It's like getting peanut butter out of a shag carpet. That's not something I wish.
Everyone out there got an image at home? Everyone else on there on the same page?
Call Stanley Steamer, man.
Think about it.
We got probs.
Yeah, that's not great.
No, I bought the Manscaped thing and
Yeah.
I shaved the old buns.
Yeah, that gets in there. It works for everything. It
And it
tickles.
encourages you while you do it. Great job, man.
Except the one day it just like doesn't quite work right. It just takes a fucking
Jesus
chunk.
Christ!
Oh Jesus! Oh, it's got a squirt and it's squirting blood.
And that's the night you get laid.
Yep.
The whole reason you shaved your ass.
Well, why else?
She just keeps grabbing your ass.
It's only 2 good times to shave your butt, and that's date night and after the winter when it starts to get into the warm months.
Yeah.
It's important to think about, guys.
Yeah, get your summer cut. Get that lower back hair lasered off.
That's just something you do. Or you go to the guy. He's like, March again, huh?
Fuck my life.
Yeah, this is the worst thing. I gotta keep remembering to hire someone else just for the month, some temporary work. I can't do it again. I can't do it again.
You get seasonal work like when you worked for UPS.
Yep.
Except it's just you doing laser hair removal on buttholes.
Mm-hmm. Well, laser, that's fine. I was thinking like a wax. Just
right
down you put the professionals put a quarter over the beanhole. So
it's like putting it's like putting coins on the eyes of your dead before they pass into Cerberus.
Again, we saw one of those videos recently where the dude they put the wax up your nose.
Yeah.
You rip it out.
Dude, don't be a pussy. That doesn't hurt that bad.
I bet it hurts pretty bad.
It hurts
not
bad.
that
It doesn't hurt that bad.
I don't get why people don't just fucking go for it.
Yeah.
You sit there and you're like, oh, if you peel it slowly, you get to feel every fucking bit of it. Just rip the fucking thing off.
Yeah, just get it over with. You fucked up by doing it in the first place.
Rip the Band-Aid, that's the phrase. It's not slowly peel the Band-Aid from your skin.
Yeah, feel every agonizing millimeter lift from your flesh.
Yeah. Just in case anyone at home was still doing that.
Yeah. Knock it off, guys. Proper Band-Aid removal.
We can show you. We can make a video. Ha ha ha. Wrong.
We do that. It's just huge pieces of flesh shear off. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. Boop.
That reminds me, I really want to do a manscaping commercial. Not for Manscaped, the product, but again, for an even more hipster product where it's just dudes shaving their balls with a straight razor.
Just an old-timey razor.
They just get a little badger hair brush and lather up their balls. Just shh. And they're like, okay, time to shave my balls.
I don't think that one's getting on YouTube, though, bud. I don't think that's going to make it.
You either get the closest shave of your life or it's like hacking pieces off of a bologna
dead,
log.
Or you're fucking dead. It's a very careful thing. Of course, everybody's done it. You go for the manscaping, you just nick yourself. You go, oh, no, I can't.
You got to get the proper tools for your family jewels. They really should sponsor us.
Yeah.
If anyone can get in touch with Manscaped on our behalf.
You just kind of like, we'd like 20 more listeners. We'd like 20 more people to buy Manscaping.
I just write them, I bought your product and I liked it. Therefore, would you like to advertise on my podcast? We often talk about murder and genocide and, pedophiles being stabbed in the eye, and I want to get stabbed by a lady murderer and dogs dying, but we think your product would be a great fit.
The description I came up with someone the other time was that it's the podcast kind of like Seinfeld. It's like a dark Seinfeld that's less Jewy.
Yeah, correct.
Like that's kind of what it is.
I heard someone describe it as Flight of the Conchord for incels, and I did not like that.
That makes me very sad.
I did not like that at all.
I don't. Are we really involuntary?
I don't think so. I know for a fact we're not.
Yeah.
We're self-actualized kind of guys. We can go out and be like, hello, my name is Judge Costanza. I live at home with my parents and I'm unemployed.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
You got to just own your shit.
Yeah. Well, some people come along like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the podcast. I go, what's there to get?
I didn't think it was that deep.
What's there to get? Like, I don't get your references. Like, well, then you're dumb because they're really not that hard to get. Again,
I don't know what kind of pasta Machiavelli is, but I don't like the sound of it.
Is it the spirally kind? I like the spirally kind.
It's the kind that Jerry Seinfeld had one made by Kramer, and then it went up the other guy's ass. That was funny.
Machiavelli Jerry. That's what it is.
Yeah. You're going to be the first manipulator.
Yeah. Bet Midler. It's Macaroni Midler.
Rochelle. An erotic journey from Milan to Minsk.
What the fuck?
That show's so great. We don't have to get into a whole Seinfeld
hole,
an S-hole.
Just the comparison.
But it really is an S-tier show.
Oh, yeah. Well, it set the standard. It set the standard for sitcoms.
Everyone who's come after is just eating their balls.
Yeah,
whiffed it
hasn't
hard.
been as good.
The Big Bang Theory, suck my dick.
Oh, fuck The Big Bang Theory. The creepiest thing you can ever do is go find that show without the laugh track in it. It's very uncomfortable. Like, especially looking at their faces while they wait. Like, they say something, and then you just see them sitting there staring. And then one of them says something else funny. It's not funny, though. And then you wait. And then you just sit there and go, wow, it must be easy to write this show because there's probably only like 15 pages worth of dialogue.
It's like, yeah, well, dude, there's a literal episode where the guy with the bowl cut builds a robot arm to jerk him off.
I was like, which one? I don't
know. We had to watch a couple episodes in grad school for the sitcom class. The man that was teaching this was this ancient, like, remember in Entourage when they're trying to get the movie produced and that super old guy stuck in the past is just fucking up all the deals?
Sure, yeah.
My professor for this course was that equivalent. And for those of you who don't know the reference to that I'm making to Entourage, this is just a man who was just stuck in, he thought All in the Family was the latest in sitcom innovation. So he liked the really bad Chuck Lorre sitcoms that haven't fucked with the formula in 40 years.
Yeah.
And we had to watch Big Bang Theory because he thought that was the best show on television.
Really?
Best show, not sitcom, show. He thought that was the best show on television.
By what metric? That's what I want to know. I'd be like, you're supposed to be teaching us like writing in the sense, like what, by like, is it because so many people watch it or because it panders to the lowest common denominator while pretending to be intelligent? Which one of these is it?
He said it, basically all of that it targeted the greatest amount of people. It was a people pleaser. It was funny people for dumb people. He basically was just like, it's marketing genius. It's profitable. It's not about the craft.
Sure. And I'd be like, and to that, you're right. In the same way that 2.5 Men was a smash hit.
We bill it as a nutrient paste, but it's actually just carbs and sugar, and you pour it down your throat, and you come back next Thursday at 8:00 for a rock block of blah.
Yep.
And that's basically what it was. And he was like not even cynical about it. He's like, the magic of sitcoms, where you sell your soul for a 10-year contract to make millions of dollars and die on an overdose of cocaine.
Well, that's what he wanted, probably.
And he was a washout, which is why he was teaching that class.
Those who can do.
He was just a jerk off. And
that's why one day I shall try to teach a class like that. We're talking about The Simpsons.
Physics for poets.
Physics for poets.
Yeah, and he made us watch an episode of Big Bang Theory where bowl cut guy builds a robotic arm and literally uses it to jerk off, and it mangles his penis.
Too strong of a grip, huh?
Theoretically, that is very funny.
Sure.
But in the context of the Big Bang Theory,
they're not going to do it right.
Not so much.
They're not going to do it right. Again, because they're trying to make it accessible to the most amount of people every single time. So how do you make a story like that accessible to everybody?
Right. Well, but you just know there's some Midwest flyover guy sitting there, and that happens. Goes, Jesus Christ, that's the funny fucking thing I ever seen. I tried to have sex with my vacuum once.
Yep.
But man, oh man, if I had a robot arm to jerk me off, we shook him up.
I got like 40 or 50 seconds into that The Farm, the Ashton Kutcher.
Ooh, the ranch?
Yeah, whatever. The ranch, not the farm.
Christ.
I got like 40 or 50 seconds into it, and I was like, oh, there's already been 3 lines that were like blatant exposition. And I just went, boop, and turned that shit right fucking off.
Well, that and Stephen Hyde, big-time Scientologist, big-time alleged raper.
Mm-hmm. Isn't he going down for that?
I haven't kept up with my
he's getting,
Me Too, where are they now?
He's getting blackballed in the community.
Well, he probably deserves to. He sounds like a monster.
He sounds like a real piece of shit. So no love lost there. No love
how
lost
cool
there.
Stephen Hyde was on that 70s show?
It was great. What a great fucking character. Oh, you look at that and you go, man, look, what? I never got that either. These weird things that happen with celebrities. They've got everything in the world. People, like, I get it. There's got to be some stress to constantly being in the public eye. But for the result for that to be like you being an abuser,
yeah,
or any of these other fucking crazy, like a pedophile or whatever the fuck. I'm like, how? I get certain sense of it. I have to feel like maybe you were always a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, I'm not really up on the tech behind that, like the psychology of it. But I just sit there and go, you've got everything in the world. Like, does that really like warp you to that point where like, I've got millions of dollars and I can do whatever I want? And then you, Danny Masterson, just start hitting women and being abusive.
I mean, yeah.
Secretly somewhere out there, Bill Gates is like, I left Melinda because she was not okay with the dungeon.
Yeah.
He's just down there torturing interns.
That's a guy. Bill Gates almost strikes me as completely asexual. So I think he would torture the interns purely to prove that he had power. You know what I mean?
Well, everyone, it's always so weird that, and again, it's our culture that we have these like certain billionaires that are propped up as being good people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, you don't make $1 billion by being a good fucking dude. That guy crushed people, just like Steve Jobs crushed people, just like Bezos crushed people, just like Elon Musk crushed people. They all fucking crushed people. Like, to think that you could make $1 billion and the results of what you didn't have someone kill themselves.
Well, yeah.
That shit happened. They're not trying to get too dark about it, but that shit happened. I'm sorry, Terry. You were going to be a part of this and you're going to make millions of dollars by being a part of Microsoft, but I'm going to buy out your company and leave you with nothing.
I left you your dignity, and that's more than you deserve,
Yeah.
Terry. Why don't you go by Terrence like an adult? You spit in his mouth.
Well, it's like you look at what Steve Jobs did with Apple, where they had that one guy who just like didn't get stock and like got screwed out of everything.
Well, Steve Jobs was a terrifying asshole.
Yeah.
If you walked into the elevator with him and he was like, what are we working on in your department? And you couldn't immediately give him the satisfactory answer, you didn't work there anymore.
Yeah,
By the time you got to your floor.
You were gone. Well, I remember it's that, and I think we've talked about it. It was that story about the guy who was like, I was trying to sell them my app. And we came in, he said, I'm not paying as much as for this bullshit. And they're like, we've got a deal for like, $8 million. He's like, I'm going to give you $4 million. And they're like, well, it's already written out. Like, it's already here. The only thing that had left is for us to all sign it. Like, we've already negotiated all this. Here's the deal. You're going to accept $4 million or your app isn't going to be in our app store. And then let's see how fucking much it's worth. And you're like, fuck, man. Because he just swung that kind of lumber. And he was right. He had you over a fucking barrel. And so then, boom, you sit there and you go, okay. And you pay him $4 million fucking dollars. And some of your team goes and works with him, and the rest of those people get laid off.
It's honestly kind of cool because, like, they're the new robber barons. We had, like, Rockefeller and Astor and all those guys.
Yeah.
So maybe what we need, and I think Elon Musk can provide this, is a Titanic-level incident to thin the herd here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're in that bubble again.
They all take a rocket, and they try to, like, take a little moonshot on a rocket, and they all just crash and die.
That'd be great. They all just like, we're all going to go to Mars, or we're going to take a trip around the moon. It just doesn't make it back.
Yeah, haha, you fucking plebes.
Well,
they
what
just
happens
crash.
to all their money is the thing that I sit there. I mean, I'm sure it's all written out. It's going to somebody,
Yeah.
I don't know if it necessarily like fixes the problem. The only situation it fixes is Bill Gates' issue because he is donating most of it to charity.
Yeah.
And who knows now because Melinda and them, they divorced. So maybe she's just like, I want to own the moon. And she just, starts making moves as a fucking supervillain.
Just shaves her head and becomes Dr. Evil.
If I married somebody who had $100 billion and they died and I gained $100 billion, I am 100% going supervillain. I'm 100%. I'm taking the Empire State Building for ransom or some crazy fucking thing. Why not? He got a bunch of blimps and he carried away the Eiffel Tower. How do we stop him?
Technically, no one's in danger. I say we just let him pull off these shenanigans whenever he gets bored.
And it's just me wearing like the old like black suit with the monocle and like I'd grow my mustache out and twirl it and just fly away in my fleet of blimps. I'd dress up my henchmen. They'd all be wearing like the old style criminal like stripes. Like, we're traditional thieves.
You're just stealing sacks of money with a dollar sign on them.
Yes, exactly. And they'd be like, well, every time they would go in, I would make sure you've got your sack because I don't want you leaving with a briefcase or anything. I don't care if it's like gold coins, especially if it's gold coins. You grab that over paper money. I cannot stress this enough. Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Around doing that. The largest theft of Sacagaweas happened the other day.
I want to be like Loveless, the bad guy in Wild Wild West. I just get a huge mechanical spider, just a bunch of prostitutes, and we just cruise around the country shooting fireballs at shit.
Sure.
It'd be pretty fun.
Yep. I just use my billions of dollars to hold the U.S. economy hostage so they can't do anything about it. I'm just like, it's a dead man switch. All of it sells if you kill me. And it just crashes the market. Just set it up very advantageously. So I've got all of the billionaires in with me. We've taken the country hostage. Ha ha! And then we move to our base on the moon.
Sounds like you've got this all figured out, and you don't really need me. So I'm just
Space
gonna
elevators too.
futz around the desert in my giant mechanical spider,
Yeah, just out
blowing
there.
up rocks.
Just out there shooting rocks. Yeah.
This never gets old. And I'm just malnourished and on cocaine.
$1,000 a shot. Very expensive to launch napalm across the desert.
I'm so glad I cut off the lower half of my body for this.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
The prostitutes love it.
Yep. Every now and then, someone, Mr. Koch, Mexico needs your help.
Please remove your steampunk dildo. Get in your giant mechanical spider. Stop pleasuring the whores and get down there.
Yep, and you just crawl away. All pistons.
Be awesome. Actually, I'd be the natural superhero to your supervillain.
Yeah.
I just never get there in time.
Yeah,
The
no.
spider's horribly slow and
Super slow.
inefficient.
We're just taking planes.
I get there 2 weeks later.
Also, we're flying overhead in our hydrogen blimps and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spider's head can't go
Damn
up any
you!
higher than this.
Yeah, design flaw. Please get in an area where I can hit you at a 45-degree angle. Not this time. Ha ha ha! Damn it.
This week, ladies, we're going to try shooting at his blimp with a gun. Should be firing a handgun in the sky. It doesn't appear to be working.
Yep. And that's the future everyone has to look forward to, because this is going down. I don't know who I'm going to marry for their billions, but I got some time. I got at least 3 years before I'm no longer hot. So,
Clock's ticking, honey.
oh my god,
I want to marry a princess.
Is that a gray hair? Are these crow's feet?
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
I have some gray hairs.
You never know. I could
Pretty
secretly
slick.
be like the Anastasia or the Romanovs or something.
What, you're a hemophilia?
No, that's not. That's the other one.
It's just Rory in a little wicker chair being wheeled around everywhere.
Anastasia was the one they thought got away, who definitely didn't get away.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, years later, like, oh yeah, sorry, Disney, we found the bodies. They were just a couple of yards off from the rest of the mass grave. Yeah, all of them died.
Our B.
Like, turns out that the people who overthrew them were actually pretty good at killing Romanovs, so they all died.
Yeah.
Go back and watch, though. It's fun.
Still alive. That one's true.
Yeah, that one's true. Not without his penis, though. That is his penis in the jar.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's like, it's huge. I'm like, it probably grew over years as it absorbed all that water, guys. Come on, let's calm down.
Don't you dare take away his accomplishment, Rory.
I'm sure it
He had
was
a
huge.
dick big enough to go in a jar in a museum.
I'm sure it was still very large for the time.
I would say it's an all-timer. You haven't seen a new
Listen,
dick get put in a jar, have you?
Just to be safe, that's what we have to do, is have our penises put in jars when we die. Like, well, look at that. He did the science. There it is.
Let's look at mine and be like, is that an eyeball? I don't
Put
understand what that is.
That tiny penis in a jar. Look at it. Looks downright average.
Are you
now.
making kombucha? Is that a mushroom?
You walk in and like, no, you're not supposed to drink that.
It's got hints of ginger.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of salty though. Gross.
Guy ate a lot of pork.
Gross.
I think we're
That's good. Yeah.
I think we fulfilled our obligation to the slobs for another week.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think we're good.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Rory, do you have anything you want to plug?
Nope. Tune in next week when we're talking with tennis sensation Anna Kournikova. Stopping by.
Nice. Is she still hot?
I don't know.
Was she ever? Am I thinking the right
Yes,
one?
no, she used to be very pretty.
Okay. Sweet.
She was a tennis player.
All right. Well,
Many of them are.
it's going to be a cornucopia of Kournikova.
Strong legs, everybody. Strong legs.
Don't catch Kournikovid
Ha ha ha!
until next week when we'll see you again. Thank you. Go fuck yourselves and goodbye.